and I'm actually not RC racing, which is very odd because actually, let me turn my phone here. There we go. Nope, never mind. I suck at this. That's why I don't do it. Guys like Jay do live all the time. So, anyways, it's Saturday. It's noontime, give or take, and I'm usually at the track racing, which means I'm not at my very messy um, workshop, I guess you could say. Um, I'm working on a few things. I'm working on my Four Horsemen NASCAR themed build, which was a NASCAR car to begin with. I just got it out of the stripper, and I'm going to clean it up with some Scotch Brite, what's left of my wire wheel. I know I've posted a few things on Instagram if you follow me. I've been working on this Volkswagen and slamming this pickup truck. I just haven't had time, and time has been my nemesis as of late. I also have a challenge build that I got to take. Oops, these two cars and morph them together and try to come up with something that's kind of cool. I'm doing it with Benjamin over at BP Customs, and I'm not sure. Gaslands is obviously my go-to for this. Good evening, Rudy. It's afternoon here, so although I feel like it's evening because I'm exhausted. Thanks, Carl. Yeah, I got my slash is getting there. I race. What do I race? I race indoor spec slash, which really isn't all that spec. I mean, everything about it is spec. Actually, I have it. I have it right here. I have it all apart. We have to use stock tires, so I just ground the hell out of them. These are nice and soft for an indoor off-road track. Works out pretty well. So I've got those, but you have to pretty much keep everything original except for my Futaba. And you're allowed to upgrade a servo, and you could upgrade RPM parts, so on and so forth. Hey, Maple Leaf and Quest. So yeah, I got that. And then I have an oval track. If I come over here, actually, before I get that, I also race the short course truck inside. This is a TLR 22 SCT. Still working the bugs out of it. I think I got it pretty good. Obviously, it's held together with hope streams and duct tape. This is the body I bought, or I got it originally, so it's seen some heavy wear. And then when I go past my unassembled 3D printer, I've got my oval body. This is going to be for outside dirt oval. It's also a slash, but you can do whatever you want. There's no limitations. So right now it's a slash platform. I'm probably going to keep that, but I might change the motor out. I got to get some new tires for the front. And I've got my Bronco that I use for crawling. And I just picked up this axial rift. I want to get into some rock bouncing, and okay, I think I'm back. I lost myself there for a minute. So yeah, I got to figure out what to do with these. I like this platform. I think this looks really cool, but at one point I was thinking about cutting the front half of the Mustang off and cutting this in half, but I think I'm going to go Gaslands, kind of Giga Horse style, but mixing the two cars together. So yeah, I get this NASCAR. I actually made some decals, my rubber gloves for body cavity checks, but I made these Death Wish coffee decals. I printed them out last night. I just matte cleared them. Then what else do I got? So anyways, I went to Mike over Mike Mods and Custom has a Turn 4 Hobbytown store. I went over there, and he went to Rhode Island to a swap meet or diecast show or whatever, and he asked me if I was looking for anything. I was looking for this. He found it for me, and I was looking for this. He found two, actually. So, because I don't go to the stores, there's nothing out there, and I'm not a people person, so I have no need to go walk through Walmart or Target just to find out they don't have any cars. So And I got more cars than I know what to do with. But once in a while, I get some new ones, or I see certain ones that really strike my fancy. And the minute Hot Wheels announced this one, I really, really dug it. So I wanted to make sure I pick some up, but I mean, there's nothing in the stores. So huge props to Mike for picking these up for me. I can't wait to dig into them. I get some ideas. I might actually, I have a really good idea what I'm going to do with both of these. Um, and I want to do them together. And that's about all I'm going to say on that, because if I say any more, I'll give it away. So when I'm working, you know, I'm not the most organized person in the world. Yeah, cool cat. I'm assuming they're a hot item. Again, I don't go to the stores, so for me, it's worth whatever I have to pay for them. That way I don't have to deal with people. Oh, the other car that I'm going to be working on is this Austin. This thing was beat to shit, and I just think it's a cool car, and I've been wanting to do something with it. The only problem is the windshield's really broke, but I'm thinking of just cutting it like right around here and making it like a speeder. Um, Cut out the the entire hood and swap out the motor with something. I'm not sure. Maybe like a straight six, or I don't know, just something oddball, because the whole car is oddball. Actually, looking at that, looks like a cool gasser. But anyways, that's kind of what I want to do with that. Then I got hopes and dreams for some of these other cars that I want to do something with. Actually, I've been looking for this. I got to give this to Mike. Mike wants that. So yeah, I'm just a real slob when I'm working, and I've got multiple projects going on at the same time. I do try to stay somewhat organized. I actually have containers for certain things. Oop. So yeah, there goes my organizational skills. So anyways, for the most part, I try to stay busy during the week on diecast only, and leave the racing and the RC stuff for the weekends. But sometimes it consumes me because I break crap on the weekends. And then I have to work during the week. And then when I get home from work, I'm either too tired or I'm trying to build the RCs. So I apologize. I've been putting out maybe one video, every other week. I'm going to try to change that, but I can't guarantee anything. I won't promise anything. Let's see. So I have my wall here. For the most part, I have the stuff that I plan to get to at some point, but I just haven't got there yet. And I know people have mentioned it before. I'll get to that in a second. But, there's certain things like this. I've got 3 or 4 of. I got 3 or 4 of these. Yeah, RC General Lee would be cool. Cool cat. Somebody had made one at the RC place I go to. That was a rock crawler. It looked awesome. But then once I've got some more parts and pieces here, this is my bin of wheels. Back to my 3D printer I haven't touched. My leftover track from when I was doing stuff with Jay. And then I've got my Chevelles. I still have some open spots, but if I scroll over here, this whole thing is filled with Chevelles. This is filled with Chevelles, and this is filled with Chevelles as well. And I got models that I'll never do. I've got a drawer filled with some NASCAR stuff, and I forgot I even had that. And these drawers are filled as well. But anyways, and I've got some stuff up here. I got a box of 50 short cards. I just got all kinds of crap everywhere. Obviously RC stuff, tools. This is my wall of broken dreams. And I got my mud boss that I'm doing. This is for Dirt Oval as well. Kind of came out really cool. It's nice and clean because it's never seen the ground. I've never put it outside yet. I was going to do that last year. I never did. Then I got my drag truck. It's like a real garage. I got shit buried, but it's the drag slash. And I bought a Nova body for it that I never did anything with. And I bought a 2-wheel drive buggy that tires are sticky for indoor. I have done anything with that either. So, anyways, that's kind of what I've been up to. I'm not one for the live stuff. I don't do it very often, but I do enjoy it. And it gives me a chance to do some filler work for videos in between, and it's unscripted, which, if you guys know me, I try to not do unscripted stuff as far as live, just because I swear so much. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm at. This NASCAR build is probably my priority, because what happens is if I don't, then next thing I know, it'll be like the last day of the month. I'll have to post it, and I'll still be editing or finishing up painting or assembling or some crazy crap. So, and again, I'm looking for ideas. If somebody's got ideas on how to mash these two things up, I'm pretty sure Benjamin is going to go crazy, and it's going to be some sort of wild stuff. Hey, Enrique. So, it's just one of those things that I'm going to cut it up, and I'm going to cut it into 100 little pieces. And I honestly, yeah, thanks, Chris. I really want to screw these up. I want it to be something wild. And we both agreed on these two cars because they were just two of the same cars that we both had. And he's over in, I think he said he's in China. So his availability is a little bit more, I don't know if it's better or worse, but I would think it's probably better. But either way, we both had these two cars. We both agreed on it. And then we just we had a choice to pick different themes, and we just picked a mashup, which my last video I was talking about wanting to do a mashup. And this is kind of limo 3D printed orangutan in the driver's seat cam. Hey, I got plenty of styrene. I can mesh a Ford and a Chevy if I want to. Ford's good for something anyways, and that's mating it with a Chevy. I'm just kidding. I've had probably more Fords in my life than Chevys. So, hey, Devil. Jamie, how's it going? So, yeah, I just want to try doing different things. I'll check that out, Christian. I'm open to suggestions. I don't know if I want to go four-wheel drive chassis. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Put the nose of this on this, and I don't know. Again, I may end up doing a double-decker, and I don't know. It's one of those things when I do mashups, I have to sit there and look at it forever. You just figures, Andrew. Impala, Ryan Newman. Nice. Yeah, I always liked his paint schemes. Yeah, most guys put that's how you get a Ford to run good, is you put a Chevy motor in it. Yeah, me too. I'm a Dodge guy. I've got a Challenger. I've got a Dodge Journey. I've had 3 or 4 Dodge Ram pickups. So, yeah, I'm more of a Dodge guy now. Growing up, I was Chevy. My first car was a 65 Mustang, actually. I got it when I was 16, paid $1,500 for it. I waited till I was 16 and a half. I polished it and I cleaned it and everything. It was just a 6-cylinder. It was nothing fancy. And then I took it to, we have a thing called CCD, which is like a Catholic, I don't even know what it stands for because I sucked at it. But it's probably the last time I was in church. And driving back at night, I was going around a corner and the shock towers were so rusty. The shocks ended up going up through broke both shock towers. So I ended up having to scrap the car. And I bought a Chevelle, and down pretty much, I think I've had I had the 65, I had a 79, I had an 88, I had a 93, a 2009, and a 2012 Mustang. But anyways, other than that, this was kind of an impromptu thing. I just figured it's better than me trying to edit a video on something I obviously have not finished anything of. But I'm pretty happy with the way these are coming out. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to probably drop it, just so you can kind of see how low I'm trying to get these things. So I'm still going to drop it. No, I made it. Yes. And like I said, I'm always up for ideas and suggestions. Hey, Jay. But other than that, I've got a lot of Jesus, I forgot about this. I've had this project for, probably a year and a half now. This was a 57 Chevy. I made a block out of putty. And, I mean, this thing's pretty cool. It was like the ITW version. That's kind of what I was going for. I just got to finish the firewall and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm an Iron Maiden fan. Cool cat. If you couldn't tell. So I got this I've been working on. Well, I haven't been working on, but I put it here like I'm actually going to do something with it. And if I look at it enough, maybe it'll get done. But a few people have asked me about my plates from Texas. Get this out of the way again. Funny story, or not funny, but my father was stationed in the Air Force, and he was stationed in Texas in 1970, and that's when he got out of the Army, and that's when I was born. And he had a '69 Pontiac Le Mans that he towed a dune buggy back from Dallas all the way back up to Massachusetts, where he's from, him and my mom. And then 20 years later, I went down and got stationed in Texas and got my my registration and plates on the vehicles I had. And when I drove back, I had a 1978 Z28 that these are the plates are off of. And talk about a nightmare trip. Awesome, Jack. Can't wait. I drove back from the Army with a duffel bag and my buddy in a trunk full of parts because I had a '72 Camaro with a crate motor 350 automatic. It was a nice car, but I fell in love with the Z28. So like 2 days before I left Texas to come back to Massachusetts, I ripped the motor out and put it in the Z28, which was a 4-speed car. Well, come to find out, it had 390 gears. So driving back from Texas, 4th of July weekend, from Texas to Massachusetts in a car that couldn't go over 50 without whining the shit out of the motor. It was crazy, but these are the plates that. Plus, I broke down like 5 times. I broke down in Pecos, Texas. I broke down in Memphis, and then I broke down in Pennsylvania. But anyways, these are the plates that came off, so it was like a 20-year difference, and we both kind of fell. Yeah, but Jay, my buddy that came down with me, I haven't talked to him since. He was he pretty much disowned me because it was a horrible ride. I thought it was great. I got pulled over in Pennsylvania, and I was like so close to being home, and I had Texas plates. So the cop pulls me over, and he's like, "All right, you and your buddy get out of the car." So we get out of the car. He goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm getting out of the Army. I'm going back to Massachusetts." And he's like, "You got Texas plates?" I'm like, "Yeah, no shit." So meanwhile, he's like, I guess every third out of state plate they were pulling over looking for drugs. I'm like, dude, if I had drugs, I wouldn't have them here. I'd be on a boat somewhere. But I guess he didn't find that amusing. So he tore apart my entire car, including everything in my trunk, which was all my engine swap stuff. So the only saving grace, because the motherfucker left, sorry, didn't mean to say that, because the guy left everything off to the side and made me put it back, was he was covered with grease because he was sticking his fingers inside my intake manifolds and all the crap I had in the trunk. So, but anyways, I digress. I got 1,000 stories like that. But actually, if you guys want to hear stuff like that, let me know. I'll definitely include that kind of stuff in my videos because I led a pretty interesting life. To say the least, at least up until I was maybe 30. I lived a lifetime plus. So, and I get some pretty cool Juarez, Mexico stories that I probably can't say on YouTube, but you'll be able to get the hint. But anyways, this is what I got. I'm hoping to get to some of this. Hopefully, this isn't the next video I do. I'm hoping that one of these two are the. I will, guys. I will. If you guys want to hear it, I will. Yeah, that trip. Oh my God, it was so funny. I was driving through Dallas. Oh, where was it? I don't remember where I was driving through. Anyways, I lost my brakes because my yeah, not that kind of movie, Colin. I was driving through and I lost my wheel bearings in the front, so my wheel was doing this, and with disc brakes, every time it does this, it separates the brake pad, so you lose brake pressure all the way around. And I was driving through anyways. I lost my brakes and it welded the inner race on my wheel bearing to my spindle. So I'm trying to find a place to stop. So I'm driving. I finally get to Pecos, Texas, and it's 4th of July weekend. I'm driving around. I'm sweating my balls off. My buddy's pissed off, and I'm driving around with no brakes. I'm in this little shithole town, and I stop at a hotel and I walk in and I'm like, "Hey, I need a room." Oh, you ain't gonna get a room around here, boy. We have a rodeo in town. And I'm like, oh my God, really? We have one room with no AC. I'm like, all right, let me drive around. So I'm driving around town with no brakes and I'm swerving all over the place because the wheel keeps moving on me like this. And the I end up getting pulled over by a cop. And the cop's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm literally going, I got no brakes. I'm trying to find a hotel room. I just left El Paso. I'm tired. I'm hot. I need a room. And he's like, you ain't gonna find a room around here, boy. There's a rodeo in town. And I'm like, oh my God, I know. So I ended up taking the frickin' room with no AC and going to the Napa in the morning and jacking it up in the parking lot and trying to saw the race off my spindle. So, but anyways, that's just like one of 12 stories just on that trip alone. But I appreciate everybody kind of sticking around and yeah, no shit. I used to have one of my cars had no e-brake and no brakes, or the brakes sucked. So actually had a cinder block on a chain that was on I took the seatbelt out and I used the bracket for the seatbelt to put the chain in. So, because the door wouldn't stay shut anyways, there was a big gap because it was all rusted. But anyways, other than that, I'm gonna go do some hopefully some productive crap. I am not sure. It's Saturday. I got my pick. I got some rubber gloves. I got some tape. I think I'm good. I'm gonna go abduct somebody. So I appreciate you guys watching, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.